The Fever Code. Caitlin walked into the exclusive casino hidden beneath a luxury hotel. The air smelled of expensive cigars and ambition. The dealer nodded as she approached, sliding a stack of chips her way. She took her seat across from Ivan Dreznov, a thick-necked man with a jagged scar down his cheek. He barely glanced at her, more focused on his drink than the newcomer at the table. Caitlin sat in the back of a black SUV speeding through the dimly lit streets of Indianapolis. Across from her, Agent Monroe, her handler at Sentinel, a clandestine agency tasked with stopping international crime syndicates, tossed a folder onto her lap. "We've got a problem," he said. "A smuggler named Ivan Dreznov is bringing a new synthetic drug into the city. The cartel is using underground poker tournaments as a front for distribution. We need you to infiltrate tonight's high-stakes game." Caitlin smirked. "You do realize I just played a full WNBA game, right?" Monroe shrugged. "You want out?" She shook her head. "Not a chance." "Perfect." Caitlin wore a confident smirk, her fingers drumming lightly against the felt as she met the gaze of Ivan Dreznov. His ice-blue eyes held the calculating chill of a man who trusted no one, and her easy banter was beginning to wear thin on his patience. "You play well," Caitlin said, tilting her glass of champagne toward him. Ivan offered a tight smile. "You flatter me, Miss Clark, was it? Caitlin Clark, right? What's a WNBA star doing in a place like this?" She smiled, feigning intoxication. "Even shooters need a hobby," she quipped. His gaze flickered to his sleek black briefcase resting beside his chair. Caitlin resisted the urge to glance at it, knowing the small tracker she had palmed onto it was doing its job. Instead, she finished her drink and sighed. "If you'll excuse me, nature calls." She rose from the table, sauntering toward the restroom, feeling Ivan's eyes burning into her back. Once inside, she locked herself in a stall and pulled out her phone. "Tracker is active," she whispered. "Do you have his location?" "Affirmative, Caitlin. Everything looks good on our end," came the voice of her handler, Monroe, through her earpiece. A muffled noise made Caitlin's spine stiffen.
Over
The
there.
hairs on the back of her neck rose. Someone was here.
Bitch.
The stall door exploded inward, and she barely twisted in time to avoid the
Get
first
her.
henchman's fist slamming into the metal. Caitlin ducked, driving her elbow into his ribs before sweeping his legs out from under him. Two more men flooded into the cramped space. She spun, catching the wrist of the second attacker just as he tried to bring a knife down on her. A sharp twist, a sickening crunch, and the weapon clattered to the floor. The third man lunged. She sidestepped, using his momentum to send him face first into the mirror, shattering it into a spiderweb of cracks. The first thug recovered, throwing a wild haymaker. Caitlin caught his wrist, yanked him forward, and slammed her knee into his face. He collapsed, unconscious. The restroom was a wreck, but Caitlin had no time to admire her handiwork. She shoved the door open, smoothing her suit as she hurried back to the poker table. But Ivan was gone. "Where is he?" she murmured into her earpiece. "Tracker says he's heading up. Probably to the roof, might be a chopper waiting." Caitlin cursed and sprinted for the stairwell, taking the steps two at a time. By the time she reached the rooftop door, she was breathless. She shoved it open, heart pounding, and then she saw it. The briefcase sat in the corner, motionless. No chopper. No Ivan. Her blood ran cold. "Damn it!" she hissed. "Tracker's on the wrong case." She ran to the edge of the roof, peering down just in time to see Ivan emerging from the opposite side of the hotel, flanked by 3 bodyguards. A sleek black car screeched to a stop in front of him. "Monroe! He's at the main entrance. Redirect the team." "Copy that, we're moving." Caitlin didn't wait. She turned and flew back down the stairs, her legs burning as she burst through the exit. Just as she hit the pavement, a black SUV roared into view. It ploughed into Ivan's getaway car with a crunch of metal and shattering glass. The doors to the SUV flew open, tactical agents pouring out, weapons raised. Ivan's men reached for their guns, but it was too late. Red laser sights danced across their chests. Ivan, however, was already moving. He bolted through the chaos, slipping into the shadows of the side street. Not today. Caitlin took off after him, her muscles coiling as she pushed herself to superhuman speed. Ivan glanced back, his expression turning from confidence to shock as she closed the distance in seconds. "Nice try," Caitlin said, tackling him to the ground. He struggled, but she pinned him easily, yanking his arms behind his back and securing them with a pair of cuffs. "Game over, Ivan." Monroe's voice crackled in her ear. "Nice work, Caitlin. Drinks on me when you're back." She smirked, hauling the villain to his feet. "I'll hold you to that." The next morning, Caitlin sat in a press conference, reporters firing questions about her game-winning shot. "How do you stay so calm under pressure?" one asked. She grinned, adjusting her glasses. "Just takes practice." And a double life as a covert operative, she thought.
But then on the offensive end, I mean, that's a great contest by Carrington. She goes over the screen.
With which Caitlin Clark handles right here. She crosses sides of the floor. She gets her hips and shoulders